Let's say you have a collection and you want to know a little bit about all these different units that you can add. I'm going to go through pretty much a list of units here, going from ideal units to proper units to simply good units in War Horde. That way, if you don't like my list at the end, you can have some of my thoughts on some of these units and fit them in as you see fit. So for ideal units, Gazgul Thraka. Like I said, the lethal sustain aura combo is amazing, and getting lethals on the wall is very important. Not only that, with how War Horde wants to work, where you want to pressure the flanks of the army, the opponent, really get up in their field, and then have them go into a no enter zone of the middle of the table. Gaz assures that you don't want to enter the middle table type of energy, right? Next, and the damage 4 is very important, as it's one of our only ways to get that damage 4. Now, knobs are very valuable because they give you something we lack, which is AP. So knobs giving you that very valuable volume of high strength, good AP, and damage 2 is very, very important. They're really good for multiple strats in this detachment. Probably the best unit for fight on death, if not the squigs. And they just help counter a lot of different power armor problems that we can have. Next, we have Beast Naga Boys as an ideal unit. Because of their volume of attack, getting up to strength 6 is really good. And as Loki said before, in some of the combos we went over, you can see how they can help you punch up into very durable units. Then we have the Beast Boss on foot. Dev wounds are important, and this detachment allows him to spike. War Horde, the War Boss, is very important in the detachment, whether you use him with boys or knobs, because +1 to hit is super good when you're just looking for volume. And his data sheet ability gives him volume as well. Zagra Wartsnaga, the reason he's very valuable is the combination you already have with something like Here We Go, or is very, very good for stealing someone's home field objective. Also, we just talked about taking flanks, pressuring the opponent. Zod getting 12 inches of movement and then being able to run up and get stunk in on someone is very, very good. You can actually end up loving that in ways that you can never imagine. Proper units, meaning they're very, very good, but you might see them here as one or you know what, these units proper on this line, because so much stuff is good in War Horde. Even these proper units, you'll pretty much see them in the vast majority of War Horde lists. We have Flash Gits at the top of this list. Great trading units for only 80 points. They're versatile. They allow you to shoot and charge. They have built-in 4 attacks, which is good for War Horde itself because the sustains, and then they can get up to 5 attacks on the wall, which is obnoxious. The fact that they have guns that pretty much want to go off just once means you get off once, you shoot, and then you go ahead and advance and charge the next turn. Great for clearing cheap power armor armies or 2 wound models. Even Chaff at toughness 3 Flash Gits are great for that if you have to deal with some guard players. Next, you have trucks. The War Horde is very favorable to MSU style, meaning that having a lot of trucks on your list is always going to feel like a great way to go. 3 Neves seems to be the magic number. War Trike or War Bikers, I think, is very common in War Horde as well. Maybe not the most pivotal, but they can be common because the Death Killer War Trikes feel no pains, or because they're odd durability and ablative wounds. Grots are always good on any orc list, but having them for screens is very important when you're going against other melee matchups. Storm Boys, great other screening units, but they're more versatile for scoring. In War Horde, they actually have the potential to go out and punch something if you're willing to use Unbridled Carnage to them early game, kill maybe a little Eldar unit, whatever it may be, because they can advance and charge the whole game. So they can actually punch up a little bit or actually trade just because of this detachment itself. Boys are extremely versatile for sticky objective and volume of punches. Very good in this detachment when you're just trying to say, oops, I touched the middle objective. Do you want to come in here now? Do you want to commit this turn? It's only 10 boys. Oops, I touched my natural expansion objective. Now I'm just standing over here hiding behind the terrain. You're going to have to come get it. Sticky objectives is always good, as you always want to move forward. Squig Hog Boys, the fact that they can get durable in this attachment with hard as nails and very spike their damage. War Horde is arguably the best attachment for them. The Hunt is very good too, but the detachment rules are the issue there. So if you got your squigs, War Horde is where it is. Good options. Maybe you won't see them all the time, but if you have a good deep collection, go ahead. Pain Boy can be good because he can be in mobs of 20 boys, which are solid in this detachment. They could be with knobs if you're looking to just pop hard as nails for that -1 to wound already, ride the feel no pain and pick D3 back up. Also, the fact that he might spike on his syringes is kind of hilarious, right? The fact that you might end up getting another additional hit and then mortal wounds into an enemy character could feel really good. Kind of funny. Battle Wagon, great for the 20-man to mob delivery, or even elite bricks where you're trying to pressure and threaten the mid table but keep your profile small. Mandos are a great unit, as in for board pressure. Like we said before, if you're playing something like Four Corners, having something like Mando staged up behind your natural expansion terrain and just letting the enemy know, hey, I'm going to be able to go up in there and tag that, or I'm going to be able to turn one pressure you if I go near your natural expansion zone. If you load a bunch of these or have a trike and Zod, you can even throw in a turn one wall, which is very complex. But for War Horde itself, Mandos are good because they give you great staging ability early in the game so that you don't get pressured, pulled behind. Other enemy infiltrators just kind of move block your trucks or your squigs. Commandos are very important in War Horde for that reason. And then Mega Knobs. Mega Knobs are a little too pricey, not really that good in War Horde, but because they go with gas, they get a major shout out. Now, Snickrot is always great. What I will say is Snickrot doesn't need to go with his commandos. You can sit him in your back corner, wait for later in the game to just jump out and actually try to score for you. If you put him early and infiltrate without a plan, he might just get killed off too early, which could be your real failure when you're playing with Snickrot. Today's sponsor, Baron of Dice. So Baron of Dice has great dice. They have actually enabled us to give these dice out for our paint competitions. So I greatly advise that you go out there. We have a link in the description for 5% discount. That's, of course, because nobody likes taxes. Shout out to the Baron of Dice because they are actually customizing orc dice just for us that you guys will be able to get a hold of, and they look exceptional. So shout out to Baron of Dice. Really appreciate you guys, and I really do suggest you get them. I love the actual texture these dice have. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. If you enjoyed the clip, check out the full video here. If you'd like to see more tactics, click here.
Let's get stuck in, lads!